Brilliance Audio presents The Widow's Watcher by Eliza Maxwell, performed by Angela Daw. You didn't have to leave the dog behind. Jenna kept her eyes on the road, wheels between the lines. I did, Cassie. You know I did. An undertow of weariness dragged at her limbs. The first rule of writing, make your protagonist relatable. Likeable, even. Abandoning the dog with strangers? Not so much. Jenna sighed. I'm not a protagonist, Cass. This isn't a novel, and the Davises aren't strangers. They're strange, all right, especially their creeper son. Each word dripped with teenage derision. It wore on Jenna like sand against stone. It was always there, rubbing. Given enough time, it could take down mountains. He's not a creeper. Beckett doesn't like him, Cassie said, as if that were the final judgment of the universe. Beck likes everybody. I don't want to talk about this. Beckett's fine. You know I couldn't bring him. In the span of silence that followed, Jenna hoped her eldest daughter had let it go. The relief was short-lived. Cassie merely changed her tactic. Opening a book with the main character driving a car is a cliché, by the way. Jenna clenched her jaw and bit back a retort. Breathe, she thought. Just like the nurses told you during childbirth. Breathe. Who knew that was intended as a life lesson? When the nurse had laid Cassie in her arms, Jenna had laughed, wide and open-mouthed. Warriors in battle the two of them were, she and her brave, howling daughter. They'd fought valiantly, shedding blood and coming up victorious on the other side. Her laughter blended with Cassie's cries, their voices rising together. I know, love, she'd whispered to the little life in her arms. This is new for me, too. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. Such confidence. Such naivety. Where are we going, anyway? Do you have the faintest idea? Cassie, lay off, please. A scene should have a point, Mom. Cause and effect. A drive toward a goal. Wandering aimlessly with no apparent destination isn't going to cut it. Enough, Jenna said. Her breath quickened, her anxiety cranking up at the badgering. Enough now, Cass! I have a goal, Jenna thought. Just not one I intend to discuss with you, thank you very much. As Cassie had grown, Jenna had slowly but inevitably discovered that this child, her child, wasn't an extension of herself. They spend their whole lives walking away from you, the kindergarten teacher had said on her little girl's first day. Your job now is to be there when they look back. Jenna's eyes had searched her daughter out as she introduced herself to a little boy, the two of them launching into an animated discussion about whatever pressing matters 5-year-olds discuss. But Cassie never looks back, Jenna thought then as she stood in the doorway waiting to wave goodbye to a child who'd forgotten she was there. Oh, but the stories. The stories were the flickering light of a lone star in an inky blue sky. The fantastical, sweeping stories that had begun before Cassie could even write them. This, Jenna had thought. This is it. Tangible evidence my DNA runs somewhere through this kid. There'd been times she'd wondered. Was it possible the child had been switched in the hospital? Had some sly nurse slid into her room while she dozed and slipped a changeling into her arms, then snuck away into the night with her real daughter? What had become of the daughter Jenna always thought she'd have? The shy, studious girl who would hide when visitors came. The child who would pull the bottom drawer out of her dresser, dump out the contents, and snuggle into her self-made nest with a pillow and a picture book. That daughter came later. They named her Sarah, their second-born. But Cassie wasn't her sister or her mother, and never would be. Accepting that made it easier for Jenna to appreciate and celebrate the daughter she did have. The wild, willful, wonderful daughter.